Can you believe it's another week, another Wednesday of Wassup Flobo, episode 186. Shout out to my mama, man. Checking out her health and all that. Hope she checks this episode out and she's feeling pretty good, feeling better, and all of that jazz. Before I get into today's topic, I gotta say, as always, support the homie. You can do that a multitude of ways. First and foremost, the Patreon, patreon.com/Flobo Boys. We call it the Boisterous Crew. Crazy things are happening there this month, September. Not only do we have the normal features, the stand-up comedy review, I've also tried some try videos. Like I tried Starfruit and I tried homemade pralines, and those shows are exclusively on the Patreon, patreon.com/Flobo Boys. You get to see my immediate reaction, trying things I never thought I would try. And, if you're not really feeling that, you know what I'm saying? You just want to get yourself a little bit of a swag for now. Make sure you save the store, flobito.threadless.com. New designs are coming up as we head into the holiday season. So first things first, about graduation day. Again, so surprising that people are reading it, people are buying it. I know, why are you surprised? You wrote it and you want to have a book, but I am still astounded about the corners of my life that people have saw the thing on social media. I did basically 3 social media posts and 3 interviews, 3 podcasts. And they're checking out. So people from like my college days, my high school days, from my previous employers have saw it and picked it up. And so I wanted to talk to you about the second edition because there is some controversy about that. You have a little bit. So this is the original. This is I think it's about 90 or so pages. It's a little thin, nothing on the spine, and that's readable to me, but I thought it was kind of on the small side. A lot of my older readers felt the same way. And so I decided to tweak the layout a bit and decrease the size. And so we came up with what I call the second edition, which is really the same as the first edition. Nothing's really changed with the format. So you can tell this one actually has a spine. I just got this one here. It's about 227 pages, but the text is a lot. So for those of you who partake in the reading by, what's the word? Oh, not candlelight. Reading by reading light. If you read by reading light, you'd appreciate this more, because I felt like for some people they had to wait till the sunlight to actually read this. So that's always fun. It's a reality, making this a possibility. I love y'all so much. And if you are checking it out, leave a review, hit me up, post it on social, let people know that it inspired you or you liked it, or if you didn't like it, that's okay. Don't tag me if you hated it. So the other thing I want to talk to you about this week is powering through bad gigs. Now, there's a lot of ways a gig can be bad. It could be lack of information. Someone's paid you the money and gave you the instructions, but you don't really know what to do. You don't really need you really need some guidance as to the actual way to execute your gig. Sometimes it happens more on the conference side of my professional life. Like someone will pay you to go to a conference and you get there and it's like, okay, go up there and do your thing. And I can tell you, when someone says do your thing, I get kind of like confused, like, because I do many things. What thing do you want, But like other times, bad gigs can be about your feeling of your performance. You understand that you have a certain level you hold to yourself. You know that even on an off day, you're still at a professional level. You're still at a level that's cut above other people, but you're not really feeling what you can do personally. So in other words, like imagine if LeBron James just went like, I don't know, 11 for 28 one night. He's still LeBron James, and he's still one of the best basketball players to ever play the game, but he knows he could have done better. He's not going to go to the stands and say, here's a refund. I'm not playing that well. And you shouldn't ask for refunds either, because your time is valuable. But you kind of go, okay, what do I do? So this past weekend, I had 2 gigs back to back. And so in one way that was great, because it didn't give you a chance to stew on one performance, because once Saturday's event was done, you had to work Sunday's event. This is the DJ space. And once Sunday's event was done, you had to go back into the normal grind of the weekdays. But at the same time, you're thinking, man, is this a recent dip in form? Does Flobito still got it? And by that, I mean timing on jokes for the MC stuff, transitions for the DJ stuff, the energy level after a gig wasn't as much. And I said to myself that, hey, man, maybe it's a recent dip of form, or it's just the start of me realizing I'm done. You go through all these essential things. Now, I know this is not about me. I'm not saying, guys, this is what I'm feeling. I just want to know if there's something that you went through. Let's say you love doing something. I don't know what that may be, whether it's painting, whether it's comedy, whether it's reading, having a book club, excuse me, and you go, man, I'm just not feeling it today and tomorrow. And for a spat of time, my energy level, my enthusiasm, my performance isn't as sharp as I know it could be. What do you do to power through it? Well, the first thing is always time, right? Some time away will give you a chance to refresh and recharge. But sometimes I know that could be a curse because too much time away after a recent bad patch, you start to compound that. You start to wonder if you can do it. And if I'm being completely honest with you, that's why I feel like I am in the comedy space. I understand there's logistical issues with like being in a packed comedy club, but I'm writing my jokes now, the new stuff, and I go, is this funny? I used to know and say, hey, this makes me chuckle. It's worth a shot. Now I'm like, sensibility seems to change. Or maybe I'm in an echo chamber and I think sensibilities are changing. And I don't really know. I say some time apart is ultimately good. Other than that, you just got to keep doing it. Powering through it, there's a lot of power to it. I know you can only power through it as much as your mental health can allow you to do it. But sometimes you go, okay, well, that last gig wasn't my favorite. Here's a chance to really focus on what I did wrong or what I want to improve and look towards it. But you also know that when you have that mental strain of feeling you're not living up to your potential, it's like an injury, right? You have to balance playing through it versus taking yourself out the game. It's like a physical injury. Sometimes you go, oh, I woke up today and my hamstring is tight. You can power through it, or go, well, I have hamstring injuries before. Let me just rest it, put it on ice, chill out today. Also, the power of YouTube. Of course, you guys know that. You're on YouTube right now. You go always search for kinds of things, for anything on the planet, tips and tricks. For me, it's like new age music, spa music to get me back centered of self. Meditation, as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, how I meditate, which is kind of a different spin or twist on it. So make sure you find what works for you on YouTube, whether it is seeing people doing things at a high level to inspire you, whether it is seeing people who are starting out doing the thing you're doing to inspire you, because those two things are different forms of inspiration, right? Back to the LeBron James thing. You look at LeBron James play, you go, okay, yeah, he does this so well. That's why he's elite. Let me see what I can do and take some of that. Or you can say, hey, this person, this baby, just do a basketball out of their crib. Wow, I remember when I first started playing, this used to be so much fun. Let me go back to that. And I think that YouTube really is a resource to get yourself back into the game. And that's what I essentially did on Sunday night. So after 2 gigs where I know that I could have done better, even though the clients liked it, and I appreciate them for telling me they liked my performance, because that does help me as a sole proprietor. I feel I could do better. Sunday night, I went home. I updated my Patreon. I do a gig vlog. So every time I do a gig, I do a photo gallery and my opinions and my thoughts about every gig I perform on Patreon as well. Patreon.com/Flobo Voice. After that, I listen to some soothing music and say, hey, look, Flobito, you put undue pressure on yourself because you know your potential. Then I went to YouTube and I saw wedding fails or MC fails or DJ fails to reassure me that MCs think they're funny, but they're not. DJs have used YouTube songs without remastering the tracks at weddings, or they shut up 2 hours late, or they puked on the bride. That put me in the right state of mind. So that I realized it's kind of part of the process, part of the game. That's what makes you professional. Finding out runs of form, whether you're hot for a while or you're cool for a while, and really get back into a rhythm. Hopefully for me, with next year coming, we'll have enough of a consistent number of gigs where I can get myself into a groove. I felt like 2021 was still like 2020, where it's like you do like 3 things and you stop, 2 things and you stop. Because when it comes to anything we do in life, consistency is key. That does it for me on this edition. 10 minutes on the dot. Woo! Of Wassup Flobo. I'll be back here next Wednesday. Say hello to your moms, man. She's in your life, man. Your mom's are really important. She misses you. Make sure you call her up. She wants to hear the sound of your voice. I'll be back here next Wednesday with more shenanigans and flim flam. And if something you want me to chat about in particular, let me know in the comments below. Graduation Day, the second edition, the thicker edition, the bigger print edition is now available on Amazon. Let me know what you think about that. And projects are happening all the time. Follow me at Flobito on Instagram.